Have you ever wanted something for so long that when you finally got it, the joy disappeared before you could even enjoy it? You worked for it, you sacrificed for it, and then it arrived and then left you feeling strangely empty. If that has ever happened to you, this story is for you. In a village known for its busy markets and ambitious merchants, there lived a man named Marcus. By every measure the world used to judge success, Marcus had won. His house overflowed with gold coins. His wooden chests were packed with jewels and silk. His walls displayed treasures collected from every corner of the land. People bowed to him when he walked through the market. They whispered his name with admiration. They pointed at his house and told their children, "That man has everything." And Marcus felt nothing. Every morning he woke before sunrise to count his gold. Every evening he locked his doors with 3 heavy bolts. He trusted no one. He smiled at no one. He ate alone at a long table built for 20. He slept alone in a bed softer than clouds, and every night in the deep silence of his perfect house, he stared at the ceiling with a heart that felt like stone, cold, heavy, empty. He knew the feeling was there. He had known it for years, but he pushed it down and told himself the same thing he always told himself. I just need a little more. One more treasure. One more deal. One more chest of gold, then he would feel it. Then he would feel complete. He had been telling himself this for 20 years. Then one gray afternoon, everything changed. A knock at his door. Marcus opened it to find an old wanderer standing on his step. Simple clothes, a worn leather bag, dust on his coat from a long road traveled. But his eyes were bright. The kind of bright that has nothing to do with youth. The kind that only comes from having truly lived. The wanderer smiled. I hear you are the richest man in this village, he said. Marcus straightened. That is true. No one has more than I do. The old man nodded slowly. I once knew a man who believed the same. He had mountains of gold. He died alone, and no one remembered his name. Marcus frowned. What do you want, old man? I want to show you something, the wanderer said calmly. True wealth, the kind that never fades. Marcus laughed, the short, dismissive laugh of a man who believes he has already seen everything worth seeing. There's nothing you could show me. I have seen every treasure in this region. Without a word, the wanderer reached into his worn bag and pulled out a folded piece of paper. This, he said, is a map. It leads to riches beyond anything you have ever seen, the kind no merchant in this village has ever laid eyes on. Marcus leaned forward, his eyes narrowed, his breath quickened. Where did you get this? From a king, the wanderer said, who lost everything, and in losing everything, found something greater. If you want it, you must trade me your finest jewel, and come with me. Marcus stared at the map for a long moment. His finest jewel was worth a fortune, but endless riches? His greed made the decision before his mind could catch up. At dawn, they set out. Marcus brought a heavy bag of coins, because Marcus never went anywhere without something to hold on to. Within an hour, he was already complaining. Why can't we hire a carriage? I can afford 20 carriages. The wanderer kept walking. This journey must be made on foot. They walked through dense forests where the trees blocked the sun. Marcus stumbled on roots. His fine leather shoes tore on sharp stones. His back ached by midday. His hands blistered by evening, but he kept going. Because the map was real, and the promise was real, and Marcus had never let go of anything he believed was worth having. On the 3rd day, they reached a river, wide, fast, cold, no bridge in sight. We must cross, the wanderer said. Marcus looked at his heavy bag. My coins will get soaked. I'll lose everything. Then leave it on the bank, the wanderer said simply. But Marcus couldn't do it. He stepped into the current with the bag clutched to his chest. The water rose to his waist. The current pushed hard against him. His feet struggled to find the riverbed, and then halfway across, the bag slipped. He grabbed for it and missed. Gold coins tumbled into the river, spinning in the current, catching the light for just a moment and then sinking. Gone forever, my money, he shouted. Keep walking, the wanderer said from the far bank. Firm and steady. Marcus reached the other side and collapsed on the grass, soaked, shaking, half. His wealth gone in 30 seconds. He waited for the fury to rise, and it did, but beneath the fury, and something else was rising too, something strange. Something he hadn't felt in a very long time. He felt the cold water still on his skin. He felt the grass beneath his hands. He felt the air moving in and out of his chest, sharp and real and alive. He had forgotten what it felt like to simply be inside his own body. They continued. In a small village of cracked walls and unpaved roads, a poor family saw them walking and invited them in for dinner. They had almost nothing. A small fire in the corner, simple bread, a thin soup. But the house was full, and full of noise and laughter, full of children chasing each other between the legs of adults, full of a husband and wife speaking the way people speak. When they have run out of secrets, Marcus sat at their simple table and ate the plainest meal of his life. He couldn't stop watching them. "You have so little," he said quietly, genuinely confused. "How can you be so happy?" The father looked at his wife, then at his children, then back at Marcus, and he smiled, and simply, without any performance, "We have each other. We have today. What else does a person need?" Marcus opened his mouth and found no answer. For the first time in his life, the richest man in the village had nothing to say. Days became weeks. Marcus watched sunsets he had never once stopped to notice. Orange bleeding into pink, pink dissolving into purple, colors that no gold coin had ever made him feel. He listened to birds in the early morning before the world woke up. He ate food he had never tasted, simple, warm, shared with strangers who laughed easily. And slowly, without announcing itself, something inside him began to shift. One quiet evening, sitting beside the fire, Marcus asked the question he had been carrying for days. "When do we reach the riches?" The wanderer looked into the flames and smiled. Soon, the next morning, they reached a narrow opening in the side of a hill, a hidden cave. Marcus ducked inside, his heart pounding, expecting chests, expecting gold, expecting the treasure he had traded his finest jewel to find. He stepped into the darkness and stopped. There was no gold. No chest, no treasure, only a mirror. Standing alone in the center of the cave, catching what little light came from the entrance. The wanderer gestured toward it. "Look," he said. Marcus stepped forward. Slowly, he looked at his reflection and froze. The man staring back at him was a stranger, eyes with no light in them, a face carved deep by years of suspicion and tension, a mouth that had forgotten the shape of a genuine smile. He stared for a long time. "What is this?" he whispered. The wanderer spoke gently. "This is who you were. A man who owned everything and had nothing." Something broke open in Marcus's chest, not violently, in the way ice breaks in early spring, slowly, and then all at once, tears filled his eyes before he could stop them. "I thought I was rich," he said. "You were rich in things," the wanderer replied. "But things cannot fill a heart. Gold fades. Jewels are stolen. Palaces crumble. But experiences stay. They shape you. They change you. They make you rich in ways gold never can." Marcus wiped his eyes. "Can I change?" he asked. The wanderer looked at him with those bright, quiet eyes and said, "You already have." Marcus turned to ask one more question. But the cave was empty. The wanderer was gone. Just the mirror. Just the man reflected in it. But this time, the man looking back was different. Marcus walked home slowly, the long way. Because for the first time in his life, he wasn't in a hurry to arrive anywhere. Back home, he began to sell his treasures, not all at once, not dramatically, quietly, piece by piece. And with each thing he let go, he gained something he couldn't put in a chest. He traveled to places he had only heard of. He sat beside strangers who became friends. He tasted food and heard music and saw landscapes that stopped him in his tracks and made him stand still, just to look. He laughed, real laughter, the kind that surprises you, for the first time in longer than he could remember. He cried at small things, sunsets, old songs, the sound of children playing. He lived. Years passed. His hair turned gray. His hands grew weathered, but his eyes were alive. One afternoon, a young woman passed him on the road. She looked at this gray-haired man walking slowly with light in his eyes. and she stopped. "Excuse me, are you rich?" she asked. Marcus looked down at his simple coat, his worn boots, his empty pockets, and he smiled in the full, unhurried smile of a man who has nothing left to prove. "I have nothing in these pockets," he said, "but I am the richest man alive." She looked at him puzzled. "How?" He thought for a moment, then he said, "Because I have lived, truly lived, and that is something no one can ever take. Sometimes we are Marcus counting things, collecting things, waiting to feel something, telling ourselves just a little more, and then I will be happy, but the things we accumulate cannot do what we need them to. They cannot sit beside us in silence and make us feel less alone. They cannot stand with us at the edge of a river and make us feel the ground beneath our feet. They cannot look us in the eye and make us feel truly seen. True wealth is not what you hold in your hands, it is what